We're speaking to you all the way from South Korea. Where in South Korea are you, Erin?
Yes, I'm currently in Yosu.
And what show are you doing?
I'm doing Cats the musical, playing Grizabella.
Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about that.
Oh, it's one of my dream roles. So to be able to do this is an absolute dream come true. And the tour has been just a wonderful experience, and getting to see places and things that I've never even imagined that I would. And
When I was in Korea, and we were talking about audiences, tell us about the audiences in Korea.
Oh, I mean, you can't get better audiences than Korea. Yeah, every night without a fail, standing ovation. A majority of the nights I can hear people crying while I'm singing Memory. It's really, really, really powerful and beautiful. It's the amount of love that they pour to us is like nothing I've ever experienced before. So it's and also to do a return season here, and to return to those crowds and to remember how it was, and then be reminded while they're in front of you roaring and screaming. It's been a really wonderful experience to come back.
And don't they do extraordinary things like make you gifts and send you food and all kinds of amazing things?
Yeah, and the last fan gift I got was a beautiful, gorgeous sketch of me as Grizabella. It's beautiful. So that's something that I'll always have with me.
Why do you sing? What inspires you to sing? And did you always know that you wanted to sing?
Yeah, I always knew I wanted to sing. So I've always come from quite a musical upbringing. And when I was born, Nan was part of the Melbourne barbershop group. And I used to always go to her concerts as a child and love them, and dance up the front as a toddler. And then at about 6 years old, I was like, that's all I want to do. I want to be a part of the Melbourne barbershop group. But then as I got older, I wanted solos.
Did you have a flashbulb moment where you're like, you saw something or something happened where you went, that's what I'm doing? Or was it more for you like walking?
Yeah, I would definitely say performing for me is like living. It is something that's just in me, and I must do it. It is one of my missions in this lifetime. But there was definitely light bulb moments as well when I saw Sunset Boulevard, you know this story, but when I saw Sunset Boulevard for the first time in 1996 when I was 10 years old, bang, that was a moment for me, and I watched Deborah Byrne and just went, this is for me. I want to do that. And it was, I don't know, her performance was so raw and so vulnerable that's what attracted me to it, that someone could be so truthful on stage. And that's what I've always strived for within my performance. Because there was a phase at college where I found it quite difficult, because a lot of my teachers were saying to me, you just need to go and travel and get your heart broken and your performance will evolve. And because I had this big voice, but I didn't necessarily know how to connect to these big songs I was singing that I love, because I hadn't had those life experiences. And that really frustrated me when I was told that, because I was like, but that's not fair, you know. What if I never get my heart broken? What if all this silly stuff.
Erin, do you think it's true now?
Yes. Oh, gosh. I mean, there's, when you have a relationship and then, I don't know, break up and you get given a song like I Wish I Could Forget You from Passion or whatever it is, it makes sense. You go, oh, okay.
Yes.
Because you draw from your life experiences, and that's kind of the healing part about performing. It's a blessing, I guess, because we can be going through the most excruciating time and it can be incredibly great for your performance. But, so it's kind of in some ways therapy or healing, because you get to process it through your performance.
But the thing is that's the thing about performing. It is, because when you're healing yourself, you are probably potentially healing 2,000 people.
Oh, yeah. 100%, and that's something that I always, before I go on stage to sing Memory every night, I always say to myself, I'm wanting to, leave all these people affected, inspired, moved, whatever it is, touching them in some way that they can leave different, and also, Grizabella gets the opportunity to be reborn. And, again, that part of the show I find incredibly healing to myself, that I get to do that every night,
Of course.
So, there's many blessings doing Grizabella.
So, have you got a dream role that you want to play?
Yeah, I still want to do Fontaine.
You want to do Fontaine in Les Mis?
She's kind of the one I'd tick off and then go, right, let's pop out the babies. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to find a husband first, so any vocal alchemy what is out there?
Yeah. With that as a view to your future,
yes.
What do you do on a daily basis that steers you in that direction or helps you build, maintain the skills or grow the skills in the areas that you feel you're going to be necessary to attain that future?
Well, obviously, not to be all bragging about vocal alchemy, but I do my vocal alchemy exercises with Tim every day at the theatre or before. Well, at the theatre sometimes, but mainly in my hotel room before I leave, just to keep everything in its, best quality, because when you do something like Grizabella or any role, you're only using one part of your voice. So, and I know from past history that sometimes you can get lazy about that and just do that, But this time, obviously, I am on a mission of other roles and what I want to do next. So I find that very important to exercise, my belt, but also my mix and my legit, because it's important. So that's one of my kind of rituals that I do every day before I leave my hotel. Also having clarity about where you're wanting to go. And, I write lists of what I want and journal, and just so you can have clarity. I think, well, for me, journaling works a lot because it makes me have a lot of clarity.
I used to do that, Erin.
Yeah. So, and I also, what's really important for me is I express a lot of gratitude for what I do have and what I desire. So that works for me. I mean, I think gratitude is one of the most important things in life, really. I was going to say in this industry, but in life, I think. It's just being grateful for what you do have, but also being on a mission of what you want to have,
How do you choose your audition song?
How do I choose it?
Yeah.
Number one, I have to be really, really good at it. And it has to be something that I know back to front and sideways. So even if, so yes, you have a criteria for something, the up-tempo or a ballad or whatever. Now, yes, that's important to obviously stick in the era or whatever it is. But I think more so important is something that sells you in the best possible light. So if it's a song you're learning for that era in up-tempo, but you're learning it 3 nights before you go to the audition, that doesn't work for me. So if I don't have a lot of time, I will pick something that is most appropriate within my repertoire for that era, but it also, more importantly, will show me off. Because I think that just my personal view, I think that that's more important to just show them your 100% quality than, oh God, can I remember the next lyric, but it's in the era and, So, yeah, that's probably what I would suggest.
Fantastic. What piece of advice would you give a beginning singer?
Just keep going. If you love it, just keep going, whatever, I mean, this is what's beautiful about vocal alchemy as well, is you can do it in your bedroom, you can do it anywhere. Keep up the repetition. You must keep up the repetition. You can't be like, I'm going to do it once a week. No, you must keep up the repetition of practicing. When I was in the country and used to have lessons with Tim, I would have my lesson, but then whatever we did in the lesson, I would record it and must practice it all week, because if you get to the next lesson and you're still in the last where you were last week. I mean, you're not evolving and you're wasting your money. So you must practice, and you must just keep going. It's a challenging industry. I'm not going to say it's all magical, because it isn't. But you must, you know, if you love it, just persevere, just keep going, because it is worth it. You know, I haven't had an easy journey getting to where I am by any means, but it was all worth it. I'd do it all again, because I would never have had the stuff to pull from to be able to play a role like Grizabella.
Mm.
You know, it's funny that I'm playing this emotional, dramatic role now. When I was given that note back at college, you just need, you know, you're missing that emotion.
Mm.
You're missing that. You need to go and live. And now to do like a full circle and be playing something like this, it's quite. I haven't actually thought about it like that before till this interview, but you know, it's quite yeah.
So Erin, when the going gets tough, where do you go? What do you do? What have you got? Some sort of practice that you can share with us?
Well, this is what I do. I'm just going back to my London experience, which might add was one of the greatest times of my life, but tough, you know, but amazing, and I loved it. I would whatever. Okay, so if I've just had a big blow, I would first allow myself to really feel it, not pretend. But I'm okay. I'm okay. No, I'd feel it. If you wanted to sit in bed and eat chocolate and watch romantic films, do it. But only do it for a little while. So, but get it out. Feel it in its fruition and then rise again. Because you can't stay the victim. That's not going to work for you. So, but really allow yourself to feel it. Otherwise, you won't be being authentic, and it'll come back and slap you a bit later. Then you must rise again. Okay, so what's my next plan? What's plan B, which is now going to become plan A again? Where am I going? What do I want? How can you know? Sometimes I used to draw a diagram and have in the middle, whatever it is, music theatre star, and then have arrows off it, how this is going to happen, and the people that I need to talk to, or the places I need to go, or the classes I need, or the books I need to read, or the affirmations I need to, whatever it's going to be. So
Erin, did you do that when the going got tough, or is that something you actually just do as a matter of course as well?
It depends. If I'm in the mood to be like really kind of, you know, at the moment, because I'm in the middle of this tour, I know what I want to do afterwards, but I'm kind of in a place of, I'm comfortable, you know, so I'm not in a what's next. But obviously when it finishes, or closer, sorry, not when it finishes, but closer to the end of it, I will get that kind of proactive cap on again and start doing something like that. Yeah, I think it's something that you could do all the time, really. It's not just something. And
Erin, you've just done a performance with the Singapore Symphony Orchestra, which occurred at, how did that happen? How did that come about? You know, because that wasn't something you had in your dream journal or you had planned.
Okay, but so, wow, it was great.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Sure. Yeah, well, I was recommended for it, and then I was shortlisted for a while, and then I found out around Christmas time that I got it, and it was wonderful. I mean, you know, luckily I was very fortunate that Kat's allowed me to go for the weekend and do it, and I mean, to sing with such a massive, gorgeous sound, it was like a spiritual experience. It was very, very emotional for me, because it was just something I've never experienced before. And they were so kind to me, and it will be an experience I'll never forget, because it was 9 songs that I love. And
did you get to choose a material?
I did. I had the blessing of choosing material.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah. So it was just beautiful, and it was just a very special night. I'm just all gushy about it, really. And the guests were very warm to me because they were very used to a different performer in that aspect. That they usually go with opera singers or a featured kind of musician than a music theatre performer. But they really warmed to it. It was. I could feel it was quite refreshing for them. So.
And was there any moment, because there nearly always is in every performance,
yeah.
where you felt, oh, I don't actually think I know, oh, there's something about the fallback that it doesn't feel right, or were there any any little technical glitches that were something you had to kind of master on the night? You know,
I think it. The first rehearsal I had with the orchestra was only that day, so we only went through the songs once, and we made minor adjustments. And so to kind of ride on that wave, because an orchestra, you know, it's very different to just being accompanied by a pianist. They aren't really waiting for you. So that was definitely the kind of challenge with that, because there was moments of, you know, for example, I sang Memory with the orchestra, and with the version that I do it every night in the show, there's a massive build-up to get to the point where she sings Touch Me. And the build-up was very quick, so you kind of missed the time to come in. I thought, oh my God, if I miss Touch Me in the song that they supposedly know me for, that's not going to go well, is it? Kind of the lesson I learned from that experience, just to trust it will work, you know, to just be really on.
What is the best piece of advice you've received?
Well, back at college, Tim Smith said to me, and I had it written in my diary. No, he did.
It's good.
I had it written in my diary for years. He said, you must have unfailing self-worth. You must have unfailing self-worth, because you will get more likely more no's than yes, to be honest. And you must bounce back from them, because when you get the yeses, they're so sparkly, and they're serious. They're serious yeses, like they're the big deal yeses.
Yes.
So it's worth the no's. And the no's also, in the moment, God, they feel disgusting. But boy, have I learnt so much with my no's. But in that time, you must, you know, rise again. So the unfailing self-worth.
What's the best way to get started, sing?
Yeah, I would go to a singing teacher, a quality singing teacher. And I mean, well, whatever performing aspect they want to be learning, but it's all about the practice.
Yep.
And the hard work. It's all about perseverance, and just I would say to them, just have unfailing self-worth. Know your worth, because you're going to get rejection.
Right.
And I think this is something that needs to be more said at schools and performing arts schools and stuff, in not a darkening way, in a protection way. So they have a shield and they're ready to like fight in this industry, because you know, we all go out with these bright eyes. I remember when I first graduated, I thought it was all going to happen, you know, and sometimes it can happen straight away, and that's even more brilliant. Like, I mean, how wonderful. But I just wish that there is a bit more telling that it, you know, that there will be hiccups and challenges, but that's okay, because it will happen eventually. If you keep persevering, it just will happen.
So you're saying persist. Just keep persisting. So fail again, persist, fail, persist.
Keep working hard, never ever think, oh, you know what, I've got it.
Yeah.
I think I'm at a good point now, and I don't need to keep studying or reading or listening or practicing, or I've got it. No, you've never got it. You need to keep, you know, practicing your skills and
keep the sense of
your craft.
Keeping the sense of discovery and curiosity alive.
Absolutely.
Or nourished. Yeah. So, Erin, tell us and share with us the difference between practice and performance.
Yeah. Well, I still, with my practicing to performance, if I'm practicing for a concert or something and it's something new, and I've learned it just for this concert, you know, I'll do something horrifying, like say to my mother or someone, "Can you watch, please?" Which I hate to, I mean, especially in front of my mother. I don't want to do that. I do not want to be singing in front of my mother. But because I know that I will react differently when I perform, because she will be sitting in front of me, or because a friend will be sitting in front of me, whoever it is, that's taking me to the next level of being prepared for the performance. So I find that really helpful, because then I can get out the nerves a little bit, like one level of the nerves, so I don't go shot into sound check of a performance. And then, you know, I find that really, really beneficial, and I've always done that. Before an audition, don't just go into the audition cold turkey. Do it in front of someone. It really does help. But then getting to the performance aspect, I mean, it's a sense of euphoria. And it's a sense of using all your tools that you've been practicing. I mean, I remember when I was in an acting class for doing a television course 100 years ago, and I said, I think I was about 18 years old or something, and I did this. It was this, you know, criminal scene. I was the victim being interviewed, and with the police and everything. And in my bedroom, I nailed it. I had the tears going. I really felt it. And then when I went into the class and I did it with my teacher, I didn't. And I said to him, but I was so much better in my bedroom. I said, I really got it. And he said, well, I don't care. I said, I don't care what you do in your bedroom. And I was like, exactly. No one cares what I do in my bedroom. And it was kind of this, and that's always stuck with me, actually. No one, you know, because we have excuses, but no one cares. No one cares about your excuses. So, you know, really try and, in your performance or audition, just be present in the moment and go.
Tell us how you use the online VA lessons. How do you use them?
I use them to warm up before a show of cats singing Grizabella. I use them. They're pretty, I mean, look, Tim Smith, you know, changed my vocal life. So I'm a massive, massive supporter of that man and what you both have created, and always will be, because, you know, he made me find my voice. So I will continue his method because it works for me. You know, I've kind of made my career as such out of belting, and I mean, obviously, and you know, but he made that belt sound safe. When I first went to him, it was this complete raw, you know, God, it was an instrument, but it was very unsafe. But then he helped me mold it. And then what is also important is he helped me with new sounds, because I didn't want to be known as a one-hit wonder.
Of course.
Of just this big voice. So then he helped me, you know, find a voice that can sing stuff like Fontaine, or can sing more kind of sobby, connected. I mean, the feeling when I found that voice, I don't like saying that because I feel like it's all one now, but when I found that aspect of my voice, wow, it was like an emotional lock that had just been, you know, a little lock that had been opened in my heart, like, and it was very, very emotional for me. You know, I cried in class because I could feel, you know, I have a quote up in my dressing room that says, "Sing what you feel," and I could finally actually understand what that meant. I was feeling what I was singing what I was feeling. It was beautiful. So it's definitely a blessing to not just practice your craft in a robotic form, but also, you know, breathe as what's appropriate to the emotion of the song, as well as, you know, obviously first when you're a beginner singer, it's definitely important to learn about your instrument and how it works and all the technical side of it. But then once you've got all that locked in, then you've got all this freedom to explore, and it's wonderful. Yeah. The three things being successful probably is what I said.
The self-worth.
Self-worth.
Yep.
And really, you know, taking off all these veils of your insecurities and fears and going back to who you really are, who you really know you are, and the talents you really know you've got, and how powerful it can be if you share them. So that's probably number one. Number two, I would say perseverance, as I said before, because you must. Number three, probably, I feel like I can't do it in three. Probably gratitude. And number four, keep fit and healthy and look after yourself.
What's next for Erin?
Ooh, I would say more success. And just more evolving, more learning, more being the best, you know, craftsman I can be. And never allowing my dreams to be too small, because I think if we just aim for big things come. So that's probably what's next. I don't know where it will be, in London or Australia, but that's what I wish.
It's great, Erin. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Oh, sorry. My secret, I would say, is to honour yourself.
Beautiful.
Yeah. To really trust what you've been given, and to not be detoured by your fears. Honour yourself and your truth.
That's a lovely secret, Erin. You know, it's a lovely secret. So thank you for sharing that with us. And thank you for talking to us all the way from South Korea. Now, I know you've only got a couple of weeks to go before you're actually coming back to Australia, aren't you? Back to Australia for a little while. And then who knows what the future holds, right?
Who knows?
Who knows what the future holds? Well,
thank
you very much. You are probably one of our most long-standing students. I wouldn't even call you. You're not a student. Well, you're always a student.
VA ambassador.
A VA, yeah, ambassador. That's what you are. And congratulations on your fantastic success. Like, it gives me great joy. It gives us great joy all the time.
So much. And thank you for being a part of it. You guys have been a part of it, so I thank you.
Pleasure. All right. Well, hopefully we'll be seeing you performing in the shores of Australia in no time.
That's right.
Hang on.
Are we still interviewing?